Hello and welcome back to my channel, to the part about the 3D sculpting or modeling. Um, Today I'm not gonna talk this much. I apologize for not having this many videos ready as I wanted or as I could have. Um, I was a little bit sick last week and had to recuperate from this, so uh, doing more just wasn't in the cards for me. Today I'm gonna show you a little thing I made last week. It's a project I had on my plate for quite some time. I had the initial sketches and drawings for a few weeks, I guess, but never really got around to doing them until just now. Um, I will talk a little bit about the details of every of overall work, because in a lot of videos you saw me just do the main um, part of it, the main body part, and then proceed with a few edges and a few smaller or minor details. This work right here has a few more details, a few more parts to it, which you will see. Overall, it took, let me lie, it took a few hours. I think about 2.5 hours. I had multiple sessions. I think I did 3 videos and I forgot to record a part of it. Um, but you have to get the overall idea. Now this video is also um, fastened, so it's faster than normal. Um, and I cut a few things out, like the repetitive, just moving the single points into position. This is something I usually just cut out because you saw it in the first 2 videos. If I do the tutorial, when I do the tutorial series, I will show you again, and just for the videos it's a lot of filling material without any sense, and I don't really want that, because it's just not the content I want to show here. I more want to show you the how the thing actually takes form, or how the form will look in the end. For those of you who wonder, I usually have a render of whatever I did at the end of it. I have a Patreon where the renders are found, where you can download them. You can actually get all my artworks for free. I don't charge for any of them. The Patreon is just for those of you who think, hey, I want to support that, I want to show my appreciation, but you can get all my work without paying a single cent. I will link it in the description of the video, and I also think I have a description somewhere on my channel description. Yeah, so this time I looked for inspiration. I looked a little bit in another direction. You can see it's a corset of sorts. It's a little bit inspired by that. Um, I had a few images of medieval or Renaissance people or inspired artworks, which yeah, led me to make the first sketches, and I finally took the time to do this specific piece. It's accompanied by a choker and by a loincloth part, you could say, so a part for the lower body, which you will see in the render, but I didn't bother um, record doing those. Yeah, right now I'm trying something out, something that was bugging me from the beginning is how do I do laces at the in the early time of me doing this. Whenever I did laces, the string just went straight through the fabric without any holes, and right now I'm at a point where I say, okay, this doesn't really do. I want to have a complete and yeah, actually possible work. It should actually be I want the detail. I want to work in greater detail, even though it takes a little bit more time, because the main part, the actual sculpting, is something I have not mastered, but I am so comfortable with that it doesn't take much time, or it doesn't take as much time as it used to. So I just have the mind the option for greater detail. Like this, I wanted to have a really cup for the breasts this time. Um, so I added the extra line, and I also wanted to have these rings in the holes for the string later on. So I actually made the rings and fitted them to each of the prepared holes, because even though it's just a small detail, even though it's just a few pixels in the finished render, it is visible, and it just adds to the whole image. It just makes it a little bit more complete, and this is what I am currently going for. I try to have a completer image that looks less unfinished, less like a sketch, and more like an actual finished image of something. Fun fact: later on, you see me when you see me do the string. Um, I just at first I just forgot to I forgot the lowest two rings to include them in the string. I noticed, and I was okay. I can go back. I can try to work around, and I was just okay. You know what? It's okay. I can still then they're not used. Then they are then I don't use them. This is fine. Um, and right now I'm adding another detail. I'm adding a little bit of lace or a little bit of fabric on top of it. As you will see, the main body is, I tried to give it a leathery texture, and in comparison to that I tried to give the other parts a textile texture. About the texture right there on the top, I had to edit this after I finished the product. Again, I noticed in the render I noticed that it was showing more than I wanted to, more than I intended, and I had to redo it. So that's actually something that is quite normal, that is quite common. I have a lot of times I have to redo smaller parts of it, and yeah, I don't really take the time to yeah, I don't really take the time to record every change I make. Yeah, why am I changing up here? The problem with the single line is that at some point, usually the line ends before I wanted to. I wanted to draw the whole thing before I'm done, and I had the option to either go with the way I did and do a little more complicated way of finishing it, or redo the whole thing. And yeah, redoing it just would have took even more time. So yeah, adding lace is also the string is also a key detail I started to do. It's one of the early details I added to my clothing, especially on the shoes. I started to add the laces because it just gave a more complete picture of them. And yes, also have lots of clothing with some kind of string or boundary binding device somewhere. You could see that as a, or you can see that as a common topic in my works, that something is bound, tied, or otherwise strapped on, strapped down. Strap is actually the word, I think, not string, strap. Yeah. Finishing touches is always working with the clipping, looking that you don't see any clipping, that everything looks neat and tidy. As you can see, parts of it already have texture, and parts of it just is about to get some textures. And in a few seconds you will see the finished product. Again, if you want to download the picture, I will link my Patreon post with it. So thank you and goodbye.